Good day. I am about to discuss my topic for today. My topic for today is logic. The term logic came from the Greek word logos, which sometimes translated as sentence, discourse, rule, and ratio. Of course, these translations are not enough to define the meaning of logic as it used today. I have here some example of logic. If Tom is philosopher, then Tom is poor. Tom is philosopher, therefore Tom is poor. We might define that logic is a study of principle of correct reasoning. Logic is a defined, quiet, controversial matter. I have here an example of a logic. If Tom is philosopher, then Tom is poor. Tom is philosopher, therefore Tom is poor. Statements. A statement or proposition is a sentence or assertion that is true or false, but not both. We typically use P, Q to denote prepositions. We have two statements. The first statement is simple statements. It is the statement having only one idea. Examples. Washington, D.C. is the capital of United States. 2. Annapolis is the capital of United States. The second statement is compound statement. It is the statement having two or more ideas joined by a propositions. For example, Washington, D.C. is the capital of United States and it is snowing. 2. Annapolis is the capital of United States or it is snowing. Now, what is logic? Proposition can be joined by a logical statements such as and or. We can write logical statements in symbol. We represent the statements by letters such as P, Q, and R. And we use the following symbols for and or and not. We have here the connective words, symbol, and type of statements. The connective words and is a type of statement conjunction and this symbol. The connective words or is a type of statement that is disjunction and this symbol. And not is a type of statement and a negation and this type of symbol. So what is negation? To negate a statement, we can use the following tables. This table works in both directions because negation P equals P. Example of negation. Rick is not here. Peter has no books. In this example, Rick is not here. A negation have been used is not. Next, truth tables and equivalent statements. A truth table is a way to check all possible outcomes. This will allow to check the truth of any statement. The number one type of statement is conjunction. A conjunction is P and Q. We say that P and Q is true if P and Q are true. And it is true in all other cases. We have here a table. The P and Q, if the true and true, it will become true. True and false, just like what I have said earlier. It is false in all other cases. So that means true and false is false. False and true is false. And false and false is false. We have here some words that amplifying the P and Q. It is a sentence that's showing how the differentiation of one statement and the second statement. Okay. Anne is on the softball team and Paul is on the football team. Anne is on the softball team represents by letter P. Paul is on the football team. It represents letter Q. And the connecting words have been used is N. And the symbol is N. Disjunction, P or Q. We say that P or Q is false. If P and Q are false and it is true in all other cases. P or Q. In this table showing how a P and Q are false and it's true in all other cases. We have true and true becomes true. True and false become true. And false and true become true. False and false becomes false. We have another here sentence that's showing P and Q. Anne is on the softball team. Paul is on the football team. Anne is on the softball team represents letter P. And Paul is on the football team. And the connective words have been used is or. P and or. P or Q. Negation. A negation is a proposition of the form not P. We say that not P is true if P is false. We have here a not P. The true and the not P is false. And false in not P is true. Here, let P represent baseball is a sport. If we will going to negate the letter P, then baseball is not a sport. We have here an example of given statement. The letter P represents lovely is beautiful. And Q, I love her. Here, P and Q. Lovely is beautiful and I love her. We have used the symbol N. Next, not P or Q. Lovely is not beautiful or I love her. We have used the connective words not and or. Negation, P and Q, and lovely is not beautiful and I don't love her. We will always construct our truth table for three statements, P, Q, and R in this format. But now, we have to use this statement for only two. We have P, we have true, true, false, false. And Q is true, false, true, false. We have here construct the truth table for negation of P and Q or negation of Q. Number 1, negate the first statement. The number 1 solution said that we have to negate the first statement. The first statement here is this one. P, true become false, and true become false, false become true, false become true. Next, solutions. Using the table for conjunction, negation of P to Q. We have here the negation of P and Q. This one and this one. True and false is false. False and false is false. True and true is true. False and true is false. And the third solutions. Negate the second statement. The second statement is here, Q. To negate it, true become false, false become false, true become false, false become true. Lastly, using the table for disjunction, apply negation of P and Q to negation of Q. False and false become false. False and true become true. True and false become true. False and true become true. For the example number 2, construct the truth table for P and Q, negation of P or negation of Q. We have to negate the first statement. The true become false, the true become false, the false become true, false become true. The second solution, we have to negate the second statement. The true become false, false become true, true become false, false become true. Next, using the table for conjunction, this one and then this one, false and false become false, false and true become true, true and false become true, true and true become true. Next is false and false become false, true and true become true, false and true become false, true and true become false. We will always construct our truth table for 3 statements, P, Q, and R in this format. P, we have true, 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 false, 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 false. In Q, true, true, false, false, true, true, false, false. In R, true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. Example number 3. Construct the truth table for negation of P and R, or R and negation of P or negation of Q. In this table, the first thing to do is to negate the first statement. The true become false, the true become false, true become false, true become false, false become true, false become true, false become true, false become true. The next thing to do is negate the second statement. We have true become false, true become false, false become true, false become true, true become false, true to false, false to true, false to true. Next is the negation of P and R. Negation of P and R. True and false become false, false become false, true and false become false, true, false and false become false, true and true become true, false and true become false, true and true become true, and false and true become false. Next, negate the P and negate the Q. False and false become false. False and false become false. False and true become false. False and true become false. And true and false become false. Become true and true become true. True and true become false. And lastly, the negation of P and R, or negation of P and Q. Negation of Q. False and false become false. 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 True and false true. False to false, false. True to true, true. False to false and false. And next, we have to tackle conditional. A conditional statement is a compound statement that is of the form if P, then Q. We say that P is the antecedent and Q is the consequent. Sometimes we read this as P implies Q. For example, if you study hard, then you will get an A. P implies Q is false when P is true and Q is false. It is true in all other cases. The truth table for P implies Q is true, true to true become true, true to false, false, false and true become true, and false become true. Next, for example, if I pass Math 151, then the sun will arise the next day. Example, if you turn off the water in the shower, then the water will stop pouring. If you get good grades, then you will get into good college. Take note that the part after the if you get good grades is what you call hypothesis. And the part after the then you will get a good college is what you call conclusion. Next, tackle about biconditional. Biconditional if and only if. The statement P if and only if Q, abbreviated P if Q, is called a biconditional. It is symbolized by P implies Q and is interpreted as the conjunction of P implies Q and Q implies P in symbol. We have here the table for you to able to understand it more. Okay, the true and true, if P implies to Q become true, true and false, false, false and true become true, false and false become true. Q implies to P. True to true becomes true. False to true becomes true. True to false become false. False and false become true. And P to Q is true to true becomes true. False to true become false. True to false become false. And true to true becomes true.
And that's the end of my discussion. Thank you for watching.